Coach Davis, if you would speak to your feelings of being the first Black head coach at UNC men's basketball.
I know that in terms of Division I head coaches all around the country, only 26% of the head coaches for Division I men's basketball are compromised by minorities, specifically African Americans. I know that it is significant that I'm the fourth African American head coach in any sport in the history of the University of North Carolina. I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white, and I'm very proud that my three beautiful, unbelievable kids are a combination of both of us.
Okay, so what you just heard right there. Oh my God. So you just heard from this guy by the name of Hubert Davis, who is the first Black coach for UNC. Of course, you know, UNC was famously known for hosting a lot of well-known athletes, especially one by the name of Michael Jordan. And this Negro is he's quite the comedian, and not in a good way. I mean, like, this isn't even slapstick comedy at this point. So basically, he was at an interview and they were asking him a specific question. Hubert Davis, how does it feel to be the first African American coach for UNC? The first part of his statement or his response to that was fine. But then when he went off and veered into the lane of, I'm also very proud that I have a white wife and that our children are a combination of the both of us, which would be obvious because even if he was married to a Black woman, your kids are still going to be a combination of the both of you. That's just how genetics work. But I don't know why he felt the need to interject that. It's almost like he was trying to tell people that, yes, I have made a historical feat for this predominantly white institution, but I need to also remind you that I'm one of the safe ones. Like, I'm not one of the ones you have to worry about, so to speak, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, why did you mention that? Because now it seems like you have a trophy. It's almost like you don't have a wife. You have something to just have on your arm. Like, that's insane to me. Like, what made him say that? That had no place in the line of questioning that he was being asked. He probably threw the reporters off. Like, if I was a reporter and I asked him that question, the minute that he got to that point, my head would have raised up with one eyebrow, like doing the people's eyebrow, like The Rock did back in the 90s, and been like, huh? That had, like, you didn't have to tell us that. And besides, if we have seen your wife before, you didn't have to tell us that you have a white wife. And this is actually going back to something I've said before in the past in previous videos when it came to interracial relationships. Why is it that people in interracial relationships, especially if they are the Black partner in the relationship, have to stress that they are with someone who is white? If their partner is white, why do they have to specify that they're with someone who is white, especially when that question isn't even asked at that particular time? No one asked Hubert Davis what was the race or ethnicity of your wife. Hell, your wife wasn't even a topic of discussion, and neither were your kids, but you brought them up. So now you are going to face scrutiny behind it, and unwanted scrutiny that's going to come towards your wife, because I'm sure she didn't ask you or tell you to say that. You just said it. It makes a note. Like, none of what he said after his initial response to the initial question made any sense. They didn't ask you about your wife. They asked you about how does it feel to make let me get my words right, a historical feat. That was it. After you said your first part of the statement, you didn't have to say anything else leading into what you just said, because now people are going to focus on that second part. But like I said, that's always an issue that I've had with people who are in interracial relationships, especially if one of the people that's in the relationship happens to be Black and the partner happens to be white. I've always noticed that. I don't get why, that is. But Yeah, Hubert Davis, you got some serious self-hate issues for real. Like you didn't have to mention that. And then what have I told you about? Look at his face, clean shaven, no facial hair whatsoever. Like that's just like that was a stupid thing to say. It just was. It wasn't so much that it was just ignorant, but it was just dumb. It was unwanted. It was an unwarranted response. It was like a knee-jerk reaction. Like, what the hell did that have to do with the line of questioning? They just asked you, Hubert, how does it feel to be the first African-American coach at UNC? All you had to do was say, oh, it's a blessing. It feels great. It's historical, blah, blah, blah. End. Not say, oh, and also I would like to say, on top of that, I am very proud that I have a white wife. Now, words matter. He did not say, I am proud of my white wife. He said, I am proud to have a white wife. Words matter. That's why I always say you always got to pay attention to not only tone, but you also got to pay attention to the words that you say. What does you having a white wife have anything to do with your accomplishment? Like you literally put your own accomplishment that they're highlighting you for on the back burner to put your wife, who happens to be white, front and center. So you literally pushed your accomplishment out of the way to center your white wife. That's even more pathetic. Wow. In the words of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, this is a sick Negro. And that's why he got Donkey of the Day, and very well deserved. And like I said, I have my issues with most of the people over at the Breakfast Club anyway, but that was a Donkey of the Day that was very well deserved. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you have not done so already, make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live.